my friend. So je te souhaite, c'est bon. My God, really?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're worth it.
I hope your Thanksgiving was as good as mine. My neighbors brought me over dinner. I usually cook a turkey, but
Okay, Shayne, I met you on King Edward Street quite a while back, and I was really enthralled with you smiling, and brings you to the streets anyways. What got you there?
All my life, I have had living in poverty. I go there and I panhandle for change. I've been an addict most of my life, all my life, and I don't buy heavy drugs, and I do buy marijuana, but I don't. I'm legal now to smoke because I don't do morphine. I refused that for 30 years.
Why morphine? What's the morphine have to do with
surgery on my body a couple times, legs, and they offered me a wheelchair because at one time I wasn't able to walk for a whole year. I was bedridden, and I exercised every day, and I rode a bicycle, and I refused the morphine, and I deal with that every day. There's pain in my joints all the time because I have arthritis throughout my body. I just try to live life every day. I try to keep my chin up and stay happy every day. Make people happy is what I like to do. So when I'm on the streets, this is who I am. I help out people. I share 20% of what I get off the streets with everybody on the street every day. I give and give and give. I have people coming up and say, Shayne, I see what you give out every day. I says, that's because it's God's will to help others, and I feel better. It might be a couple years out of purgatory if I do it right. Who wants to sit in purgatory, right? So if I help out people, maybe it won't be so lenient when I go. And if I pass, everybody believes there's a heaven and a lower place. Well, if anything, I'd rather be up above. So I believe in keeping good with everybody.
Okay. Do you find what you do stressful?
Oh, definitely stressful. There's all kinds of stresses. 35 years, I've never had a problem up until the other day when a young junkie man that uses needles and uses heroin and morphine came up to me and sucker punched me because he wanted the damn spot, but then he can make money for his addictions.
What do you mean by a spot? The spot?
A spot like my panning spot. I've been there for 30 years, 35 years. I've been panning that spot for many, many years.
Okay.
I've had tickets with the officers up to $20-some thousand in tickets.
Oh. I'm
down to 12,000 something now because the judge and everybody in the courtroom was nice to me and had compassion. The judge said she's seen me for 20 years. She says, I told her I was there to be punished for panhandling, and she says, I punished, she's the judge. She wanted to give me no probation and have me smile every day, knowing that I wasn't one of the ones that were out there causing any havoc or problems. See, I don't bang on people's windows and I don't demand money. I just want to make people smile. And two native boys years ago taught me that, Doug and Bear, respect and God rest their souls, they're past now. They had their own addictions, but alcohol was their biggest addiction. They're gone now. And I always keep them in heart and spirit. And every day I remember that Doug always told me, you make them smile, people be loving that. And if you do that, you'll see a difference. And people are kind to me that way, and they do give me money. You know, I'm not happy at what I do. I'm a bit ashamed. Because who wants to be a peasant on the street?
Yeah. What you're doing, you're actually making people smile. That's what attracted me to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It blew me away. That's quite all right.
Sorry.
That's normal. But I'm just impressed on what you do, and I knew there was something about you that I didn't know, and I'm hearing it for the first time.
Energy.
Yeah.
I have energy, a spare energy that people live off of. When I can move to the most desolate place in the world, on top of the Alps, where nobody would ever go, I'd be there. Within a week, somebody would be building a house. Not even not even a half a mile away, somebody would be building a house right
Okay.
next to me because they need my energy. They like my outgoing personality.
Yeah. Did talking about when you were sucker punched? Do you have access to medical or dentist?
I could have, but it wasn't that bad. I never hit the guy back. I don't believe in striking anybody back. I was bad back in the past, and I did a lot of bad things. I've hurt people in defending, but I was taught martial arts, and I was taught to defend myself and not to hurt others. So I didn't hurt him.
Okay.
The next day he came back and he apologized to me and said that he was all messed up on some speed and that he was genuinely sorry for what he did. And other people told him that I was the nicest guy out there, that he did the wrong thing to the wrong guy. So he asked for forgiveness and I gave it to him.
Good for you. Wow.
I did.
It takes a big person to do that. You know that, right?
About 5 or 6 other people told me the same thing.
Absolutely.
Said, you never hit him. And he was grateful. He said I was one tough son of a bee, and he was grateful that I didn't hit him because I probably could have hurt that guy very bad.
Yeah.
And
no
I
doubt.
didn't.
No doubt. Good for you.
Yeah.
Where do you buy your food? Where do you buy your food?
I have a local grocery store on the way home every day.
Yeah.
It's right up the road here by Vanya Parkway and that. And they have meals for, the only grocery store that actually have meals for a single guy. You could go in there and buy a small amount of hamburger. You don't have to buy $5 worth of hamburger.
Wow.
Even though that now the small amount is $5.
Yeah.
And that big amount is now $12. So, you know, sometimes I get in there and there's a pack for $3.50. So I can get some hamburger or a piece of chicken or a turkey leg or something. I'll even buy a can of salmon and make a salmon dinner out of a can of salmon.
Do you ever get food out of the mission?
I get it out of the Shepherd's all the time.
Okay.
The Shepherd's is the place where I feel more comfortable. I don't really like the mission and I don't like the Salian.
So there's two different, that you're teaching me something.
The
There's two different
Shepherd's,
buildings?
Salian, and the mission. The mission and the Salian both have government support way more than the Shepherds. The Shepherds live off of donations.
Okay.
All their food is mainly donated from
Grocery
definitely
stores,
the Ottawa Food Bank.
Yeah.
They have their own freezer in there that actually is the Shepherd's Food Bank freezer,
Okay.
which is in the grocery store. Then they put the products in there, and every day the Shepherd's van goes there and picks up meals to feed everybody at the Shepherd's.
Okay.
And a lot of the other stuff comes from homes and stuff that people bring in. They live off donations.
Okay. And what about your clothes?
My
Winter clothes. You got
everything has been given to me out of the vehicles that people have brought me clothes. People buy me winter boots. They buy me winter coats. They bring me socks. They bring me brand new underwear. This shirt is from Australia. I have 2 of them. One's white with snakes and stuff on them, and there's this one. And the guy says he wants me to look good out there. So I'm actually dressed pretty decent because of the people that require me to look good out there. I have a lot of friends that adopted me. These people adopted me. They say that I have this outgoing energy that they just love. And I have a little girl that made me this card. I should have brought it and showed it to you. You would have adored it. It says, Shayne, she knew my name because they asked, and said, every time that I feel down, a little 7-year-old girl, her dad requested that I be there the next day because his daughter would be in the car. She hands me the envelope. I opened it up. There was $5 taped inside of her own money, and it said that she gets enjoyment out of me every day that she's sad coming home, sees me make her smile. It makes her day. She'd like for me to go out with her and her dad and just talk with me to see
Wow.
why I was like that.
Wow.
Just like this man here is taping me. Because they just want to know what makes me tick, and you know.
So can you, so
Many years ago, the doctor gave me depression medication
okay.
when I had the accident on my leg, and I had surgery twice, and I couldn't walk for a year, and I was depressed, and I told him I don't take nothing. But he requested and said, you got to try once. So he gave me this stuff called Deflexor for depression. I nearly ended my life twice while on it. So
Wow.
from that day that I took myself off this medication, I almost died from taking myself off the medication. I'm not allowed to, but you're supposed to weed off it, and I didn't. I just didn't want that stuff in my system anymore. I survived. Don't kill you makes you stronger, they say. Well, from that day forward, every day that I'm alive, I'm glad to be alive. So I smile every day, and I want people around to see the same in me, remember me like that, and always smile for themselves, because they certainly need it.
Oh yeah,
Too
people
many
need it.
sour pussies in this life, and I have people that drive up to me going like this, trying to make me smile when I'm down, and that rarely happens, but
Okay.
it does. And calls me Dr. Smiles, Dr.
So,
or Mr. Smiley.
so what started all this smiling? At what point? How many years back did you start that?
Years ago, told me, if you want to make any money out there to survive, you got to keep them happy. You give them that spunk they need. You give it to them good, because they'll always remember you, and they'll always love you, and they'll always come back. And I have people that actually look for me. I have a guy that has a thing on his throat to talk. He changed his life, and he works hard, and he does construction, and I feel guilty I take money from him. But he brought his wife to me to tell me to take her husband's money, because he adores that I'm out there to make everybody smile, that I was one of a kind. And he just wanted me to accept that. You know, this man gives me a decent amount of money when he comes and gives it to me. And people just adopted me because they want me to stay happy too.
So with the money that you're given, you can pay rent, because I think you told me
My
you
rent
do
is
have
paid
an
for my
apartment.
disability.
Pardon?
My disability. And I do
okay.
get some money extra, but it's not enough to live, because everything's expensive these days.
Yeah.
It's crazy what a grocery store charges for food.
Okay.
People in the other side of the world, they don't even have a tenth of what I eat a day.
Yeah.
And that's a tenth in a week for them. And I see what we have in a grocery store, and the prices that they charge are just phenomenally crazy.
So you're single, right? No wife, no kids?
My common law wife died 2 years ago.
Okay, Shayne, I got a few more questions I wanted to ask you. So, just so the public knows a little bit about you and why you're there and what you do. And I wrote them down, and I wasn't sure if you were going to answer or wanting to answer them. And anyways, are you ever bothered by police?
Majority of the time they have to, because it's their job.
Yeah.
And they tell me that, because they don't really want to interfere with my life. They like who I am and what I do. For many years they didn't. I got strip searched, I got handcuffed, I got bounced off the cop car hood. They were aggressive, bad back then, but now they're nicer.
Yeah.
And now they deal with mental health people differently.
Okay.
They treat me really nice. 5 of the officers, since the judge said that I was noticed by her for 20 years and she wouldn't give me any probation or nothing, and that made me leave the courtroom with a smile too. 5 officers have given me money and apologized and told me that I was not so bad of a person, that I wasn't the problem out there, that they don't have issues with me. They do with a lot of the other people now that they're strung out on heroin and stuff, and they have that trailer over there for them to use their syringes and drug use.
Okay.
Question again.
They're treating you well, is what you're telling me. The police.
Yeah, the officers have been good with me and said that I wasn't the issue. That one said to me the other day that they have to give out criminal charges soon for this, because they want to put people in jail to stop a lot of these people from out there on the road, because somebody's going to get hit by a vehicle or something. I've been there for 30-some years. I've never been hit by a vehicle. I've seen 2 people, Panhandlers, go right over a vehicle, got hit, and I've saved one of their lives. Once took the shirt off my back, stopped bleeding, held compress. I've taken First John's ambulance. I was first in my class, being a mental health patient,
and the one with mental health issues, I was the one that passed higher than everybody else in there. I guess they do say that some things do take over. And
Shayne, I know for the public they don't know it, but I know the story. You found the little girl.
oh, he was a boy.
It was a boy?
Yeah, he left the daycare, and I was standing there panhandling, and all of a sudden I noticed this 6-year-old boy running out in the traffic right in the 4-lane road there. It's like a highway, King Eddie. And man, I didn't even half a second, jumped right out and got the kid over with the stop and told him he's lost. I have to grab the police around the corner. Brought the police to the kid. And then the next day, the officer came back to me and said I saved the kid's life. That he could have got taken by somebody, or a truck could have got him.
Yeah.
And then a week later, a big investigating cop showed up with 2 bags of change for me. It was over $55 in change, saying that I was. I told him I'm not no hero. I says anybody that had the right mind would have done that for any kid like that. I feel good. It gave me. I asked God. I said, "Please, man." I said, "Look what I do," and I was so ashamed of my life that I was questioning myself, and I said that I needed something spontaneous to happen. This little kid all of a sudden was right there, and I got him to safety, and I got rewarded a little. Made me feel better.
Wow.
I'm not so much of a peasant then.
Well, you're not a peasant in my eyes. Oh my God, you're an extremely beautiful person.
Thank you.
Do you have a message for the Ottawa people that see you panhandling?
Everybody should take care of everybody else. This world is too hard on everybody. If everybody helped a little bit, it would be so hard. If there was a little grace for people, it wouldn't be so hard. And this man here that's filming me is giving me grace. The judge has given me grace. And thousands of people over the years have given me grace. Make me feel like I am somebody.
Wow. You are somebody. Wow.
Yeah, but this life is not for anybody.
My intuition told me I was going to need Kleenex today. Wow.
Nobody should live this life.
Well,
But through the centuries, back in the day when they had kings and queens and swords and knights, there was peasants on the road begging for change then, there still is now. Do you think that'll ever change? It will never change. Poverty is one thing and rich is another. They can make movies and movies and movies, hundreds and thousands of movies. And in the movies, they always show poverty and rich, and things never change. And you wonder how come they don't change. But it's the ignorance of people that don't want to help other people. But there's a lot of people that certainly help me every day, and I am grateful.
wow.
I am truly grateful. I'm here today. I need money. This man's going to provide me with a view. But every day I need it, because you can't live without it. And a lot of people out there, they don't want to find a place, because once they have a place, they have to pay that rent, and they have to take care of themselves. And why do they have to do that when they have a shepherd's a good hope to take care of them? And some of them abuse it. But every day I'll go there and I'll help people out anyways, because that's who I am.
Good for you, Shayne. This is incredible stuff. Listen, this is a little card from these people. And these were people when I made a little documentary recently. And it's just a little something they wanted to give you.
Thank you.
And I said to them that I would do this video to show and bring awareness to people that all panhandlers are not the same. And I think hopefully they'll...
they're not. And I have to add...
You got a little Kleenex on top of your eye.
I have to tell
there you go.
A lot of these people out here are abusing themselves and others by taking the money and using them for the wrong things. Even I do.
I'm honest, and I won't lie. I've been an addict all my life, but I'm not the same. I'm 50 years old, and I've been out here since I was 15. And I tell you, nobody needs to live this life. I'm grateful for what these people do help me with. I'm grateful that I am alive. And I'm grateful that such as you come out here to make me feel better. Just like when I helped that little boy. It was the only thing that kept me alive. Because I don't have Suzanne in my life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her dearly.
Mm. Thanks, Shayne. I really appreciate it.
Things are good as the way you want them to be. So always smile and always keep your head up.
So it's my turn to do this?
Always a smile, man. There's always a smile in me. I'm sorry I felt sad a bunch of things, but it got me sitting and thinking, you know, and when you think, I start thinking how things pass me by every day, and how things could have been better if I wasn't an addict, if I would have been better upbringing. I have no teeth very much anymore, but a lot of it's my own fault.
Yeah.
I could have did more in my life.
Yeah.
And a lot that I just hid from. And that's a lot of people's problems out there. They're hiding from something. Something they did or something that they don't want to happen. I never wanted to have a guy attack me out on the road. It's never happened ever. But, you know, I'm afraid of hurting people. That's why I never hit the guy back. I never want to hurt anybody.
Do you have any idea the amount of people you've changed in your life through the smile?
Yeah. I get told every day.
So what
people come out to me and say, Dr. Smiley, Mr. Smiles, you know we talk about you all the time. I was at a party the other day and me and my friend were talking. It was a great barbecue. And then I mentioned we were talking about people on King Eddie and how people are. And then you got brought up. And the other guy says, oh, I know Smiley. I see him all the time. I give him change. He's such a good guy. Well, I was so grateful that the man told me, because then I will be remembered. And this is how I want people to remember me by, Mr. Smiley.
But it's what I want to bring awareness to you. What you're doing is immensely, is that you're not seeing it from everybody coming back to you giving feedback, but you're changing the lives of people.
What you were saying, here's the idea. If I smile every day for 30 years, and people see that I do on Skid Row, and I smile every day, every day, and people see that, see how much spunk and how much energy I have, they thank me for that, because when they see me every day, it makes them think, and when they think, it gives them hope, and people see me on Skid Row smiling every day, that gives people hope. It might change somebody. God, help them. And please do change. People need compassion and love and help. And this is the only thing we have that's not taxed.
Wow. Thanks, Shayne. You're touching my heart, my friend.
Now that's true hug.
Yeah, absolutely. Woo. Thank you.
Isn't that what you wanted to hear?
Oh, I knew the authenticity was going to
always smile, brother. God bless.